NXT took place today in its home of Orlando, Florida at the WWE Performance Center. Now, the thing with this show was that it did not take place live. It was pre-taped. I assume it took place during the day because when I first tried to watch it, it didn't come on. And then a few minutes after 8 o'clock, we have the whole show, the July 1st, 2025 edition of NXT, pre-taped. And I'm thinking to myself, it had to happen today because there would have been spoilers that would have come out by now, and we would have all known by now. So I didn't see any spoilers this week. I just assumed that they recorded the show today. Similar to what happened with last night with Raw, in which it was first went live at 6 o'clock p.m., so I assume something similar with NXT this week. Now, I did mention international viewers on Netflix watch NXT. It is, for us Canadians, Canada Day, so I want to wish everyone listening in Canada happy Canada Day. Now, the show started with Trick Williams, just like last week. Instead of wrestling, thank God, he's on commentary. He's annoying, but at least I don't have to see him wrestle because he's one of the worst wrestlers in the company. And he was on commentary because he's feuding with Joe Hendry, and Joe Hendry had the first match with Wes Lee. You had Tyson and Tyreek, part of High Rise with Wes Lee, got involved, but Mike Santana came in from TNA and fought them off. Joe Hendry pinned Wes Lee with a choke slam. Backstage, Sol, Ruka, and Zarya are still trying to talk to Tatum Paxley about last week's main event. Izzy Dame comes back and she forgives Tatum for what happened last week, and she's trying to recruit Tatum again, and eventually this sets up a tag team match later tonight with Izzy and Tatum taking on Sol and Zarya. They call him Zaruka. Luca Crusofino heads to the ring. He talks Choni. He calls out Choni D'Angelo to the ring. He comes out. Luca talks about how loyal he was to Choni. Stax eventually interrupts them. He doesn't have his security guards there. But then Luca sucker punched Choni. Stax comes in. He's selling it like Luca's aligned with him. And then Luca also sucker punches Stax. Luca then says his loyalty is to himself. So I guess they've split up the family permanently. Where is Rizzo? Are they going to release her? I don't know. I mean, why aren't they bringing her back? We haven't seen her in like a month. Actually, longer than that. Probably it feels even longer than that. We never see her anymore. Backstage, Kelly Kincaid interviewed Oba Femi about the Great American Bash and his opponent. And Namora confronts him. He says he'll see him at the Bash. Lexus King is out next. He took on Miles Bourne. This match was alright. Miles got the pin, after which he celebrated with the Florida Gators players who were ringside. By the way, no Titus O'Neil. He used to be a Gator. He used to always do that Gator chant, whatever it's called. Huda, huda, huda. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what the point of this was. Miles just beat Lexus King. They're doing nothing with Lexus King. We had a Dark State video promo. I'm going to be honest, I fast forward through this. I can't watch them. They're so fucking bad. Thea Hale was out next. She took on Lainey Reed. So Lainey got the win after she just hit a knee onto Thea. A very weird finish. She grabbed a rope for leverage. Not a very good match. Lainey is very green, and I don't know, again, it seems like Thea Hale has no direction right now. No Quarter Catch crew is backstage. Charlie Dempsey and Tavion Heights keep arguing. I don't care about this. They agreed to have a match next week, and they shake hands. Ren Sinclair looks disappointed that they're fighting still. Zarya and Sol Ruka are out next. Then you had, they went backstage to Jasper Troy promo on Oba Femi. I didn't give a shit. Then you got Zarya and Sol Ruka taking on Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley. I kept thinking, who's going to get the NXT spot for Evolution? I would assume it's going to be one of these two teams. There was a really cool surfboard spot with Zarya holding up Tatum. And I think Sol gets on top of Tatum and does like the surfboard and then does a dive to the outside onto Izzy. Really cool spot. Izzy's nose, by the way, was busted open during the match. So near the end of the match, Zarya's going for a spear. She's going to hit Izzy with it, but Tatum comes in the ring and she tackles Izzy, getting her out of the way, and then Zarya hits Sol Ruka. Eventually, Izzy pins Sol Ruca and gets the win for her team. So Izzy and Tatum celebrating their win. Ava is talking to Ethan Page and Ricky Saints backstage. Ethan was with the Vanity Project, and he demands that Ricky has a gauntlet match with the Vanity Project next week. Ricky and Ava agree to it, but if Ricky wins, he chooses the stipulation for the rematch at the Great American Bash. I hope it's a steel cage match. I've been advocating for that for a while. I think that's the best choice. We got a Chase U video promo. Andre Chase has a change of heart. He gets one of his students a match next week. Kelly Kincaid interviews Joe Hendry and Mike Santana backstage. He says they'll team up to. Sorry, Kelly says that Kelly Kincaid announces to them that they're going to team up next week to face High Rise. They promote Slammiversary for a while. I guess it's a triple threat match, and the contract signing is going to be at the Great American Bash. I don't know why they can't just do it on NXT. I don't get it. You had Briggs and Inamura backstage. Inamura tells him he wants to go at it alone. Jasper Troy is out next. You had the Culling backstage. Ava tells Izzy she's getting a title shot at the Women's North American Championship against champion Sol Ruca at the Great American Bash. Hake and Tank then confront the Culling. They get baited by Tatum into putting their tag team titles on the line next week. Yeah, Jasper tried Inamura. Inamura got the win after a giant splash from the top rope. He's the number one contender at the Great American Bash. Obafemi confronts him on the ramp. They stare each other down. And then in the ring, Javon Evans attacks Jasper Troy for he previously attacked him before, so he was getting his revenge. Jordan Grace headed to the ring. The announcers then preview next week's show. And then when Jordan Grace is out, I just thought, this is one of the worst theme songs. It's so generic. I miss the sirens. Def Rebel absolutely sucks. Fire Def Rebel. Jordan cuts a promo. It's pretty boring. She's better as a heel, not a very good face. Fatal Influence interrupts her. JC Jane brings up Blake Monroe's name. Then JC and Fallon Henley attack Jordan Grace. I'm pretty sure Jasmine X is hurt for some reason because she immediately exited the ring. Blake Monroe makes a save. She fights off both JC and Fallon. They're obviously setting up a tag team match. Ava then comes out, makes the match official for the Great American Bash. It's JC Jane and Fallon Henley taking on Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe at the Great American Bash. The heels run back, they get beat up again, and the faces stand tall to end this week's taped show of NXT. So I didn't like it too much. I just felt like it was a filler show, nothing much, didn't offer anything much. Really not a very good card for the Great American Bash. I think they're just doing it to spite All In, so AEW's All In. Yeah, I just haven't been enjoying NXT for the last couple of months, I'm not going to lie. It's really boring. Nothing's hot right now. It just feels like they're going through the motions, and this Great American Bash card feels lifeless. The build has just been off. Yeah, so I really wasn't that into the show tonight.